everybody. It's Debbie Cowan here from Prime Lending, and I am here with my really dear, sweet friend, Tamara York, and she is with Engel and Volkers. And wanted to have her come in and kind of give you a little bit of a spotlight time to tell
Mhm.
people all about your exciting news here that you've
Yes.
started recently. Tamara and I have worked together, gosh, what, about 5 years?
Yep.
And
Yep.
that's pretty much when you started in the
Yes,
business.
it
Yeah, I
was.
think we
Yes.
were, I think you were one of my first friends in the new business when I started with
Yes.
Prime Lending.
Yes.
And I remember you calling me going, can I come in and just pick your brain a
Meet,
little bit?
meet with you. Yes.
And I
Yes. You
don't,
were infamous.
and I was
So
like,
had to talk to you.
oh my
Yes.
gosh, come on in.
Yes.
And we spent some time together,
Hmm.
and then I think we went to Tampa one time and went
Yep.
to a real estate thing that
Yep.
Prime Lending gave us. So yeah, so I've been able
Yes.
to have the pleasure of watching how you progress in the
Thank
business
you.
and how
Thank you.
awesome you have been. I mean,
Thank
you have
you.
just been a
Thank you.
phenomenal record breaker in Ocala. Everybody
Thank
knows who
you.
you are.
Thank you.
But I know when you
Oh,
started in real estate, you had just gotten out of, was it the car business?
yes. Yes. I started buying and selling and investing in real estate in my 20s, and just really liked it and had a lot of fun with it. But I was in the automotive industry for years.
Yeah. So is that
Um,
how everyone knows who you are? Pretty
yes,
much
I
because,
think so. Yeah, I was from the car business, so had a lot of contacts that
hmm,
way. And then just under 5 years ago, I decided to make it my full time passion and career, and just haven't looked back since.
yeah, I don't think you've regretted it, have you?
No,
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 no.
not at all. It's been exciting, and um,
What's different about this kind of business versus, because you were kind of luxury sales with
mhm,
vehicles, right?
yes. It's very similar. A few more zeros on the dollar amounts
Right.
of what you're selling, but working with people and helping people accomplish what their goals are,
Hmm.
and actually listening. Um, Two ears, one mouth makes a big difference
It
when
does.
you're working with people to listen and be able to help them achieve their goals. And just real estate, I found for me, there was a little something missing, and I wanted to try to complete that piece of a
Yep.
puzzle.
Yep.
Um, and so that's why
You
we.
know, honestly, because I had the pleasure of working with you, and I kind of see how you do interact. And it doesn't matter whether that buyer on the buyer side, that's what I see, of course, with
Mhm.
you. But it doesn't matter whether they're buying $100,000 house or $1.6 million house. You treat them so well, no matter
Mhm.
what the price point is. And I think that that's really where a lot of your attributes are, is because you really are in it for them
Mhm.
and helping them versus just in it for a paycheck.
Right.
And it comes
Right.
across very clearly there.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you.
I think you're awesome. But is there, because how long were you in the car business again?
Dating me will be about 30 years.
Okay, okay, so you're like me. Okay, we won't go
Yeah.
we won't go that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
So what
Uh,
happened last year? You decided to become a broker?
um, yeah, it started a little while before that. I knew once I did this full time, I felt there was something missing where I was at, and there was something more I wanted to accomplish, and had that yearning in there. Didn't quite know
Yeah.
what to do with it yet. And England Volkers has wanted to come to Marion County for a few years now. They've
Okay.
been talking with people for probably about 4 years, and they approached us and asked if we would partner with them to bring this to Marion County.
Well, they
And
found you, but
yeah,
how did they find you?
um,
Just by numbers and
yeah,
production?
they they said they had an algorithm of a little bit of what they were looking
Uh-huh.
for, and they just said that I kind of
Met.
met that. And
Mm-hmm.
I was pretty floored when I talked with them, because I was just an agent at the time, and it just kind of went from there. And I had the opportunity, didn't really think I was going to be chosen for that opportunity, but it ended up through a lot of prayer. They partnered with my husband and I, because
Yep.
my husband is also a broker. and it's just been so exciting to bring this to Marion County.
And
And
yeah, tell us a little bit about Engel and Volkers because I know they're international.
yes, they're a global real estate company. They've been around since 1977.
Okay.
Very long history. They don't have MLS in Europe, so
Right.
it's a very different system over there. So it's a lot of growth that they've had. They've been in the Americas for years. We have over 16,000 advisors in the world. We have 45 shops just in Florida.
Wow.
So 1,000 shops worldwide. And with the World Equestrian Center now in Ocala, kind of putting us on the map.
Right.
I've grown up in Ocala, so seen just so much change. Having Engel and Volkers here with a world presence is just a perfect fit for Marion County.
Yeah.
And
obviously, that's kind of one of the things that they were looking at too when they
yes,
saw, because prior
yes,
to the World Equestrian Center, I mean, we were known for obviously the horse
yes,
farms and things like that,
the
but
horse capital of the world, but that didn't really quite
drive.
resonate with real estate as much as the Equestrian Center
Yep.
now, with all the events that we have and people wanting to be here. I just posted something the other day about U-Haul. We were the #1 city that U-Haul had one-way trips to.
You're kidding.
#1 is Ocala, Marion County. So
And you think it's mainly because of WEC?
that's
or
part
just,
of it. I think that kind of put Ocala on the map.
or just because everybody's moving
And
here.
plus, everybody wants to be in Marion County. When you drive around, you don't really. I think a lot of people that live here don't appreciate the beauty of our of where we live until you go other places.
Yep.
And you see how pretty we are, our properties, and
we do have some
yes,
lovely,
amazing properties, and that's one of the reasons when we partnered with Evie, I just call it Evie.
Thanks, then I can call it that
yes,
too. Okay.
Evie. So what was to be able to display these properties in windows, and so my vision was to be downtown, and I kind of thought it was a long shot to do that because there's only so many properties downtown, but we got an incredible opportunity.
Yes, you did.
The whole godsend. I think he orchestrated the whole thing.
Yes, he did.
So we are downtown now, next to where the Mellow Mushroom's being built, and we will have.
Which I just heard about that. And that building is huge,
massive.
And is it all going to be just that restaurant?
Mellow Mushroom is on the first floor.
Okay.
Mooyah Burger is going to be behind it, which is also new.
Oh my gosh.
The Shuck and Shack will be on the second floor. And then there's also a third story rooftop bar, which everybody will be looking down on the top of our building. So we'll have something really cool.
Yeah,
on the roof
so you're going to have to do, you're going to have to do that for sure.
Throw their beer bottles on our roof. But yeah, the building's massive, and just the whole area down there with the bigger white, the sidewalks. That was my vision.
You're right across from Ivy's.
Yes, Ivy on the Square.
Yep. So that's what a great location too.
Yeah. We're so excited, and we're doing the build out now. It still looks original now, but within a few months, our build out should be done.
You're going to have a big transformation.
Yes.
You were just showing me some pictures, and it's going to be just
super excited.
Really pretty. Very,
super
very
excited.
nice.
Yes.
So so everyone's going to know that Engel and Volkers is there, because you're not going to be able to miss it. And I saw it. I mean, I was excited to see it the other day, just knowing that I know what's coming.
Yes.
So it's going to be very, very cool.
Yes.
So how did you find that building?
A friend of mine, I knew the owners forever. I used to go there and have my hair cut when I was 15, 16 years old.
Oh my gosh.
And just knew the owners, and a very good friend of mine. I had sold a property for him about 1.5 years ago, was very good friends with one of the owners, and said, well, they may be retiring. And I was like, So I approached them and asked them if they would consider selling us the building, and just hit them at the right time.
After you knew what you were doing. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, we knew, and that's what the vision was, to be downtown.
Yep.
And I don't know if anybody has been down in Naples, but on Fifth Avenue in Naples is where all the corporate real estate offices are. And you walk down and you see these beautiful properties displayed in the windows at night by the restaurants, and it's just breathtaking to me. And I remember being there 2 years ago And I had just listed a property in Golden, Ocala, so I wanted to see how other people were listing and marketing their properties. And I was thinking, man, wouldn't that be cool in Marion County if we had something like that? And didn't even think about it until
Oh my
now.
gosh.
And then when we got this partnership, that I just said downtown, it has to be downtown. And I want to display, the properties that we have in Marion County are so pretty that
Yep.
they're going to
Yep.
be in the windows 24 hours a
And I
day.
mean, from a selling standpoint, I can't imagine that not being a big hit for a seller, knowing that your property is being
Hoping so.
not just, you know, advertised and marketed, but literally, mixed in with all these other homes that
Mm-hmm.
are across the world.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And yeah, of course, I know you said they have to meet criterias and things like that to be on that, but there, and I know you, so you'll have those properties, but it's
Thank
just
you.
amazing that, that what a cool marketing idea that you can literally be, walking down downtown Ocala and
Magnolia.
see, yeah, Magnolia and see
Yeah.
all these properties. So you were very lucky to get that place. I mean,
Yes. I
I know
feel
you
very
know it, even though you
blessed.
may be a little stressed out,
Yeah, a little bit.
a
A
little bit
little
stressed
bit.
out, but it's
Yeah.
all going to come
Yes.
together, and you're
Yes.
gonna reap so many rewards from being there. I just know it.
And we can share properties too. We had one of our licensed partners from Colorado Springs called me the other day, and she said, we've had some interest in some people looking in Ocala. Can you send me some of your listings? We call them exposés. They're going to
Right?
be in the windows.
Yeah.
So we can share our listings if someone has a property here that I feel that would be a fit in Vermont or Massachusetts or upstate New York
Oh wow.
or in anywhere.
Yeah.
We can share those exposés with other partners, other brokers in other states. I just sold a property, and the buyers were from Argentina. We have 13 shops in Argentina and South
Oh
America.
my gosh.
So just the global access that we have, and me having the local expertise of growing up in Marion County,
So that
I
was
just
going to
feel will
ask
be
you,
a
are you
really,
from here originally?
yeah. So I've grown up here, lived on a
So
farm way out in the forest.
you did.
Yes,
So
I did, and my dad was a builder here for
okay.
years. So,
And what was it York Construction?
nope, York's my married name.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right.
Yeah, Taylor,
Yeah,
Al
okay.
Taylor. He was a builder and built quite a few things here in Marion County. So I kind of
So
grew
you've
up
been
with
in the
that
business.
background.
Yeah, you've been in the
Yeah,
business for a long time with
yeah,
that.
yeah,
And
definitely.
knowing all the aspects, and you've seen Ocala grow. And
Oh,
I mean,
unbelievable.
so, one of the things that I was talking to with another agent on the session is just, any concerns about the amount of growth that we're having and just the infrastructure that we have. Because it seems like we're growing so fast
Mm-hmm.
that, the traffic, our roads in and out are still the same as
Yes.
they were,
Yeah.
20 years ago.
Yeah. Definitely a little bit of an issue. I know the county commissioners know
Hmm.
that
They're
there's
going to have to
definitely
do
we're going to have
stuff.
to there's going to have to be a balance.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, I've seen some projects, being not going through because of some traffic studies in certain areas in Ocala
Right.
are just way too congested.
Yeah.
And we don't want that. We don't want to take the beauty of our county.
No,
That's why
no,
people want to
that's
be here. So it's a
exactly
very fine line,
a
a
big
balance to
balancing act. Yep.
follow. I know everybody sees the traffic. It's like you feel like you're in Orlando sometimes, when you
Well,
can't get through intersections
well,
and you're
and
sitting
that's,
there.
even if we go to the other side of the county and we go over to the villages or,
Mm-hmm.
that area too. I mean, we just have such a big influx of new people coming into the
Mm-hmm.
area,
Yeah.
and whether they're seasonal or full time or second homes or primaries,
Mm-hmm.
whatever, it's just there are certain times that I get a little bit concerned because I just think with I I don't think I don't think we're going to slow down. I don't think
Mm-mm.
our business is going to slow down. I don't think
Mm-mm.
our influx of people wanting to be here is going to slow down. I think it's
No,
going to
I don't think
continue.
so
Everything
either.
that we're hearing, it's just going to, continue.
Mm-hmm.
So I think from an infrastructure side, they're going to have to, do something with
Mm-hmm.
our road system, and that's the only thing that I think would deter people if or actually upset them if they came
Mm-hmm.
here and had to. I was literally going down 17th the other day it took me 3 tries to get through one
I'm
line.
sure.
And I'm like, it was
I'm
like
sure.
8:30 in the morning. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, so, but,
Hmm.
and that's not, and as much as to your point, we love our bedroom community type
Hmm.
feel here.
Hmm.
And it's what draws a lot of people here.
Yes.
So we don't
Yes.
want to lose it. So we just have to figure out a way to kind of combine the two.
Balance.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of people don't know Marion County is actually bigger than the state of Rhode Island. If you
Yeah.
were to drive from one end of the county to the other, it would literally take you about an hour and a half. And a lot of people
I
don't
didn't know that.
realize
Yeah. I
the
never put it like
how
that.
large it is. Especially, I mean, you see it on a map is one thing, but when
Yep.
you live here
Yep.
and you realize how much space we have to grow,
Yep.
um, but we have to have that balance. And I
Hmm.
know that they're working on that balance, and I'm sure we'll have it. Might have a couple overpasses
Yeah.
somewhere
That would
on
be funny to
200,
see.
but yeah,
Yeah, that would be weird to
yeah, or
start.
hover cars.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll be the next thing.
Yeah,
We'll just
yeah,
go
either
right
that
over
or
the
we're all
intersection.
going to be riding Vespas or
Yeah,
something,
or
just
something.
scooting in between cars.
Yeah,
That's funny.
yeah.
Well, I know that
So
you're a big outdoor person and you love doing a lot of things,
yes.
and you also, have invested in your, like you were saying, you invest in your own properties.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, and so, what are some of your hobbies? Like, what do you? Because this is all about knowing you and
Hmm.
what who you are.
I love being outside. I love the beach. Most people that know me know the beach is my
Hmm.
happy place.
As it is mine.
The sound of the ocean, the just the calmness of it, and the vast beauty that you see. I also love being in the woods. Growing
Hmm.
up on a farm in the forest, just love being around nature. It's just
Yeah, I
being
think you were
outside
telling
is
me
very
earlier
refreshing.
you still climb trees with your granddaughter.
Yes, I do.
So,
I have a couple pictures of us climbing and playing on a playground.
and I think I've
Still
even
working on that.
I think I've seen you do like handstands and stuff like that too.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, if you don't use it, you lose it. So
and
it's
listen,
that's kind of how I still look at it.
yeah, I get it. I'm like, come on, really?
Yeah,
You're
right.
still doing it? Okay.
Yes, I am.
So, well,
Did it the
good for
other day.
you. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's good for you. And
yeah.
what do you see with with our market here? I mean, we're transitioning a little bit right now.
Hmm.
I think
Yeah.
it's gotten very busy since New Year's. I
I
don't
think
know if
it's.
you're
I
seeing
still
it
think
too.
it's fantastic. I mean, I talked to other. We talked to brokers from all over the world now, which is super. I did a mastermind a couple weeks ago with brokerage in Italy, and so we get to talk about different markets.
Do
And
you talk to those guys at $1 million sales in New York and stuff? Like,
no, but I'd
serve
love to. $1 million listing.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And they show up in jeans. I
I
still don't
know.
quite get that, but whatever works.
Right, right.
But I think our market's fantastic. Sometimes you hear negativity and you hear
Hmm.
this, and people watch the media and think that everything is doom and gloom.
Yeah,
But Marion County is still amazing.
yeah.
I think the market's strong. I think what we saw in the last year and a half was little nuts, little
Hmm.
unsustainable.
Hmm.
Everybody knew
Yeah, it was
that
going to
that wasn't
change.
going to last, which it was great if
It
you
was
were in real
nice.
estate. It
Yeah,
was quite the wave to
it was.
ride.
Yeah, it was very
But
nice.
now it's more normal and more stable. Timelines like appraisals and things happening are more normal.
Hmm.
You're not waiting forever. And
Right.
I'm sure the stress that you were under was incredible. Like you're trying to close and your appraisal hasn't come in yet. And just so much
Or
going
just
on.
really the appraiser saying, this is our soonest date we can be there, even
Yeah.
though it was after the contract date. And if
Right.
you want it sooner, you're going to pay
Right.
for it.
Yeah.
Big
I
bucks.
saw some incredible numbers for some appraisals to get them in on time
Hmm.
because people were moving here and there and so many moving parts and the stress that people
There
were
was a
under. And
lot of the vendors were, and I knew, I told ours that are on the panel, I said, listen, there's going to come a time when it gets
hmm.
back to normal.
Hmm.
So don't be so greedy right now. But I
Yeah.
mean, they were
Right.
so busy. I mean, they
Right.
literally had to prioritize as well,
Oh, I'm
and they
sure.
prioritized through the dollar. I mean, that's
Yeah.
how they would.
Yeah.
I'll do it, but it's going to
Hmm.
cost you.
Yeah.
But and the appreciation. I mean, you're seeing no issues.
Mm-mm. No, I mean, I think everything I've seen so far, appraisals are coming in good.
Yep.
Values, I don't think the values have changed, just what the market is bearing is changing.
Right.
Everybody gets confused with the price of their house and the value of their home.
Hmm.
Those are two totally different things. So,
So
um,
what does that mean? Tell me what you
well,
think
when
there.
people look at the market, they think that the value of their home has decreased. The value of your home is still what it was. It's just what the market will bear.
Right.
If your home is the only one available in that subdivision, sure, you're going to bring a premium price, but as soon as 5 other ones become available, the price
Yeah.
is going to have to change just a little bit.
Yeah, because of
So,
demand.
and sometimes people take that personal. It's a value thing because it's their home, and it's just you
Do
just
you
have
think
to.
that sellers are kind of, because the buyers had to adjust
Oh
big
yeah,
time over the last 2
oh
years?
yeah, it was stressful
And
trying to even find a house.
yeah, and so the inventory obviously was very low,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just a seller's market. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it was the most dramatic seller's market I've ever been in
Mm-hmm.
my 30 years of
Yeah, it
the
was
business.
crazy.
And so the buyers, are coming out now that couldn't buy,
Mm-hmm.
but their buying power may have changed a little bit
Mm-hmm.
if they're needing financing.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I'm watching a lot of things on social media and stuff, and I don't know if it's a psyche that creates this issue with buyers, but the price reductions.
Mm-hmm.
And so I wonder, and I always tell agents that ask me, this is it's shifting a little bit to
Mm-hmm.
where it's a buyer and seller market,
Mm-hmm.
which is good for both sides if
Mm-hmm.
they do it smart.
Sure.
And I would rather them give seller concessions or do something
Mm-hmm.
instead of dropping the price,
Mm-hmm.
because that does a lot to a buyer's psyche, and they
Mm-hmm.
see that over
Mm-hmm.
and over, and they think, well, I'll just keep waiting. Well,
Right.
they don't need to wait right now. This is not the
No.
time to
No.
wait, because I think a lot of things that I'm reading. I mean, there's the inventory of houses with the influx of people that are, not just Florida, but a lot of the states that have the good weather and the good appreciation, the western states, California, Arizona, the states where people want to move because of
Mm-hmm.
weather.
Mm-hmm.
They always see all this massive appreciation happen,
Mm-hmm.
and as soon as the market sustains or drops a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
they're the first, obviously, to just see. But I mean, when our prices went up, I mean, what was it, 100%
Oh yeah.
equity?
Oh yeah.
In the last 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if it
Mm-hmm.
drops 7 or 10% in the next couple of years, it's nothing.
No. And I
And
think people, you would list a house and you'd sell it 10 minutes later, and that's just not normal. So
no,
people kind of got used to that. So now when you list a home and it's on the market for 2 weeks and it hasn't sold, they're
they're
like,
freaking
what the
out.
heck's going on? Why are
Right,
you not selling my house? Well, it's
right,
only been 2 weeks.
right.
It's
And that's
yeah,
and
it's
that's
just
kind of going where I was heading with the
mm-hmm,
sellers having to adjust now
mm-hmm,
to what a normal market is.
right.
And yeah, it could sit on the market for 30 to 45 days, but that's
Mm-hmm,
okay. That's really where
sure.
it should be. And maybe you're not going to have multiple, over asking,
Mm-hmm,
escalation clauses, everything
yeah.
that they had. It was just a different time. And I've said it many, many times. I mean, who would have thought we would have been like that busy during a pandemic?
Mm-hmm,
And that's the first one in our lifetime.
right.
And I can't tell you how many times during the last 2 years we scratched our head and said, how in the world are we so busy?
Yeah, I know.
There's a
It
massive
was
pandemic.
nobody
And
would have thought
no,
it.
no,
Nobody would have thought
and you
it.
guys were selling virtually. You were
Oh
selling,
yeah,
sellers didn't
FaceTimes,
want people in the house. They didn't want,
taking your shoes off, putting booties on and gloves and doing FaceTime
yeah.
videos with your snazzy masks on, and
So how did
it
so we
was a little
adjusted. I
crazy.
mean,
Yeah,
y'all
yeah.
adjusted to how you sell.
Mhm.
People adjusted to how they viewed a house and how
Mhm.
they bought a house. I mean,
Mhm.
I it's funny because open houses now are kind of
Mhm.
coming back.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
And
I
it's
saw
funny
that.
because
Yeah.
the first, probably the first couple of ones that I went to, that nobody showed up. Because,
Yeah.
there was no one there, and it was
Mhm.
like we looked at each other and went,
Hmm.
how could that be that nobody's coming? And they were advertised,
Yeah.
but buyers forgot that they could actually go into a
Mhm.
house and
Mhm.
look at it
Mhm.
without their agent doing a video,
Right.
of a
Right.
FaceTime video of the house. So now, I mean, I've noticed that now it's becoming more common, and those are
Mhm.
things that happened over 2 years ago.
Sure. Yeah, it was
So
normal.
we're going back to the
Mhm.
activities that have always worked in our business and how we do our business. But it was just it was crazy. But I'm glad to hear that, because a lot of agents that I talk to, quite honestly, they're more concerned with just the fact that it slowed down, because they're not used to knowing. I mean, when you got in, you had to hustle.
Oh yeah, you have to work.
You have to
Now,
work.
now we have to work. We have to go back to work.
Yeah, it.
And it last 2 years was just, I wouldn't call it a cakewalk because I probably worked more hours than I've ever worked in my whole
Mhm.
life. And
But it
just
was different. It was
it
a
was a
it
different,
was the kind of like
yeah,
I hate to use this analogy, and I've used it before, and then I get mad at myself for doing it. But it was fish in a barrel. I
yeah,
mean, there was. I mean, not only was it great because people were moving here,
hmm,
and I mean, I had so many buyers that I mean, there were times maybe I'd go 3 to 6 months with no buyer that was local. They were all coming
hmm,
in from out of the
yeah,
area, but it was, and the rates were so good that there was
hmm,
nothing that, I mean, all you did is take an application, they qualified, we closed it. It was
hmm,
just, it was
yeah,
just that easy.
yeah,
Now, all these buyers that nobody would take their offers because they weren't cash,
hmm,
they're all coming back into the market
yes,
too. But the
yes,
difference is the rates have changed.
hmm,
So their rate mentality they had to adjust
hmm,
to over the last 6 months, going from, gosh, when you approved me in 2021, my rate
hmm,
was only 3%, and now it's,
hmm,
this. But already, and we all panicked too because
hmm,
I hadn't seen a 7% rate
hmm,
in a
not in a
long
while.
time. Yeah.
Hmm,
So now we're sitting here and we're looking, and the rates are moving back down again.
hmm,
Things are starting to get, more normal for that
hmm,
as well. And all of a sudden, we're not in that panic mode anymore. So, I mean, there was a time tomorrow that we would sit here and every day we would get price increases. And it was just like,
hmm,
this has got to stop. I mean, we're going to,
yeah, it was a little scary.
it was, I mean, it's like, please, God, stop.
But then you have people, I have people that I spoke to probably a year and a half, 2 years ago, that said, well, once the prices of homes started to escalate because of the pandemic and everybody wanted their own space, a lot of
Hmm.
people moved from metro areas
Right.
because they just didn't want to be so close to people. It was
Yep.
also a
It
psychological
was
thing.
psychological.
But people were like, yeah, I think I'll just wait, wait till the market slows down a little bit. And
Hmm.
I'd be like,
I
I
wouldn't
don't know. I don't think
know.
that's gonna, the market. It's like when you go to a grocery store and you buy a loaf of bread and it's that price. Have you ever seen
Hmm.
that price go back down like
Yeah.
a couple months later?
Nope.
Never.
Never.
So the prices haven't gone down, and the people that decided to wait, really, the prices really aren't any different
No.
now. And everybody always wants to wait. Well, it's like anything else in life. You just need to move. If it's something you want to do, you do it, and
And
we'll
that's
make it
and
work.
that's the point that, all the lenders out there are saying the same thing. I
Hmm.
mean, it's you've got to make the decision. If you love the house,
Sure,
buy it now. Don't wait,
sure.
because no one knows. I mean,
No,
no one really knows what's going to happen, but
no.
there's always going to be an opportunity that, at some point rates will go down.
Hmm.
We'll have a refi boom, which is
Sure,
what happens all the
sure.
time. And there's just, and I don't see, I mean, I hear it on the buyer side all the time. They're all saying the same thing. Well, I know the market's changing. I know the prices are going down. And that's why I said that whole buyer's mentality,
Hmm.
because if all they're seeing is new improved price or price reduction on social media
Hmm.
all the time, I'm like, stop with the.
Yeah, they need to just be a little more patient on some of their listings. I've seen the same thing,
Mm-hmm.
and it's scary because it's almost like it's distress mode,
Yep.
and it's really not distress mode. It's more normal mode. And people say, the market's changing. Well, when have we not said that in the last 50 years?
Right. I
Market
mean,
changes. That's
all
one
the
thing in
time.
life that never changes is everything changes.
Everything changes,
So
and we
it's
go through every
one of those
cycle that.
things. Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel more. I mean, I have to be, if I'm completely honest, it was just a very odd situation
Hmm.
last year when it was going, 100 miles an hour, and then all of a
Hmm.
sudden the rates went from this to that,
Putting the
and
brakes
then
on.
everybody was like, wait,
Yeah.
wait, wait, and then
Yeah.
there were people that, that had the cash, and they were like, well, wait a minute, maybe I'm not going to use my money because the stock market's not doing well
Hmm.
now, so we'll wait.
Yeah.
So now they're coming back.
Yeah.
Now, like I said, I mean, it's all about timing, and it's
Hmm.
all about that, the real estate psyche that I've seen in every cycle. They
Hmm.
have to understand, or they have to adjust to it.
Sure.
Once they adjust and they go, I don't like that payment, but I can live with it. I can make it.
Hmm.
I can afford it.
Especially compared to rentals
Oh my
right now. The
gosh.
rentals are, you look at what you can buy compared to rent. That I've worked with a couple people that, really didn't take a lot of tweaking in the last year and a half to get them to where that they could
Yep.
buy. And there's just um, not that much of a difference to buying and renting. I think if they could buy, I mean, that's how most people started their wealth, was real estate, no matter
Yeah.
how old they were,
No
what
matter,
age they
I mean,
are.
it
And
still is the best
hmm
investment
hmm
and the biggest asset.
sure.
And to your point with rentals, I mean, that rentals are a commodity now. So the
hmm
landlords are taking advantage of that.
hmm
So they're, for lack of better words, I mean, they're price gouging on rent right now because
hmm
they can,
a little bit.
or they're taking the thought, well, you know what, the market is so good, I'm going to sell it,
hmm
and now you may have to move out. So,
Yeah, seeing that a
and
lot too.
I've had that issue, and that's probably been the most challenging situation because these buyers that were not quite ready to buy for
hmm
whatever reason, that if they were renting a house and the landlord decided to sell,
hmm
I mean, they really have no place,
Yeah, a lot of displacement
a lot of
going on.
displacement going
Yeah.
on. So
hmm
from an investment side, which is where I mean, I've done more investment loans recently than I
hmm
have probably in the last 5 years, because they recognize, yeah, I'll take a new build, I'll buy it, I'll rent it out, I can make good money on it,
hmm
and pay for it, and then I've
hmm
got another asset. So I just think, I think as people, again, as they move in, whether they're ready to buy or they're not, they still need a place to live.
Sure.
So so
Sure.
I think that's still a good investment too. And do you have rentals, don't
hmm
you? Yeah,
hmm
in Ocala. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I won't call you the landlord then.
We're probably under market
Yeah,
rent
and that's
because we
probably,
know
yeah.
that we're friends
I
with
know you
people
too well.
that
Yeah,
rent.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But in the secondary market too, we've done some research from being that we're global and we
Hmm.
have so many brokers worldwide that we talk to, that the secondary vacation market
Hmm.
now is huge in the United States. And Marion County, a lot of people would probably be really surprised to know how many people have second homes in Marion County. You think Lake Sumter, because of the villages,
Right,
is obvious,
right.
but in Marion County, there's quite a few. And
And they're international, right?
yeah, we have a lot of inquiries from people internationally, which is another asset for our
Right.
company to be
Yeah,
here, is to have that accessibility to global clients that local brokerages do not have.
yeah.
And
Right.
so being that we're local, but have that global access is
Hmm.
what we're really excited about,
Yeah,
and
and of course, I
to
would
bring that
imagine
here.
that's a lot of cash money coming into the
Yeah,
into
in a
our.
lot of different ways,
Yeah,
from
yeah.
shopping to the
Hmm.
to
Yes, I
WEC,
mean, yeah.
and yeah, restaurants,
Yep, yep.
which also, they took such a hit back in COVID, that
Hmm.
to bring that back and bring the
Is
tourism
exciting.
back is really exciting too. And we have
Mhm.
some pretty neat projects coming up in Marion
Yeah,
County.
we do.
So
So where do you see your brokerage? Like, so do you have a date for the grand opening yet, or
hope opening.
hoping?
That's combine the words. April is what we're
Oh, so we're close.
shooting for. Yeah, our GC is BWC Construction. It's
Okay.
Brian Carciola. He's very hopeful that we can, once we get the concrete done, and once we get the front approved by the city, that we'll be moving right along. And we will have a very big grand opening. Everybody I know will be invited. We'll have a big block party.
Oh,
City
I
told me
can't. Yeah, I
they'll
bet.
shut down the block for us to be able to have our party. And yeah, it'll be a
So
good
you're
time.
thinking April, and then like for a vision for your particular office. I mean, are
hmm
you looking to like add agents to it?
Oh,
I mean,
definitely.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. We call them advisors. We're
Okay,
going to be
okay. So
advising.
advising. Uh huh.
Yeah, we're more of the company itself is more boutique style. If you
Right.
look at most of the shops, we're not even going to call it an office. It's going to be our shop, because you usually go to shops to spend money and
Yep.
offices to
Uh huh.
work.
There you go.
So we're going to definitely be looking for some advisors to maybe want to level up their game a little
Uh
bit,
huh.
just have a little bit more access to something different than what we've had here. We're going to be
Yep.
very fresh, collaborative. As a
Because
broker,
yeah, I was
I
gonna
want to
say
be a little
I
different than
yeah.
maybe what other people have seen and what they've experienced.
Mm-hmm.
I know what I've experienced personally, and I definitely know things that I want to change and what I want to be
Right.
as a broker.
And so, what would be if you were sitting here right now and you were doing a recruiting
Mm-hmm.
video, what would be the reason why someone, other than the global presence, what makes Engel and Boker so different?
We're very, very collaborative. I guess if I could come up with any word, that would be it. We're kind of a more of a bespoke experience on what we offer, our level of service. I think a lot of times people incorporate luxury with service, but I think service is more priceless.
Yes, I love
To
that.
be able
Yeah.
to offer somebody the service that they're looking for and direction.
Hmm.
Buying a property, selling a property, it's a big, big move. Anybody
Right.
that's ever moved, anybody that's ever sold anything, there's a lot of moving parts, and
Yeah.
we wear a lot of different hats. Talking people off a cliff
Yep.
to the closing, to the selling, to the negotiation, to everything that goes along with it. So we're very service oriented,
Hmm.
and if anybody decides to Google us after this, you see a lot of the shops look very similar. We
The
actually do have a
branding is
physical
very.
location.
Hmm.
We're not virtual, so I'm hands on. I've grown up here, so I know Marion County very well. Been in
Right.
sales for many, many years.
Yes.
So
And excellent at sales. I
thank
will
you,
say. So
thank you.
anyone that has an opportunity to, I'll give you, I'll give you my recommendation, because anyone, I know you and I know your service levels. I
Hmm.
know um, your background, and I can tell you from a broker standpoint, for you being, taking the leap of faith that you have done
Hmm.
to create this amazing opportunity for Ocala,
Hmm.
really, and anybody that would come there, they would be lucky to work with you.
Thank you,
There, that
thank
is
you. I
for sure.
appreciate that.
Yep,
I
and
appreciate
I
that.
I, I mean it sincerely.
Thank you.
So
That's very sweet.
yeah,
Thank you.
so now we just have to get your place open,
Hmm.
and so that we
Yes.
can send folks your way. So if we needed to send a buyer your way, or a
Hmm.
seller, how do we do that?
352-804-1216.
So that must be your direct line.
Yes.
That's the bat line, right?
Yeah, they won't
Okay.
they won't give us an office phone yet until we get some electrical work done in the shop. So
Okay.
yeah,
So you want to say it
yeah.
one more time?
352-804-1216.
Yes.
And you
And
can
so,
Google me, of
yeah,
course.
yeah. And of course, like I said, I know everybody pretty much knows your name and all that. But are you doing any specific? Because I mean, you're getting listings. I know
Hmm.
a lot
Hmm.
of them. How are you doing that with? Are you just
I'm not a secret agent. I don't
no?
think there's anybody that doesn't know what I do. Wherever I go and whatever I do, my car's
Mhm.
wrapped, my
Yep,
husband's car's wrapped, our advisors' cars are wrapped.
they are. Okay.
Yeah, we designed a wrap to
I'm gonna
be
have to
able
go out
to
there and take
tell
the.
everyone what we do, how to reach us.
Well, one thing I remember when we went to lunch one time was, and it has stuck in my brain ever since,
Hmm.
and that is that we wear our name tags
Mm-hmm.
everywhere we go,
Yeah, yeah.
and I have
Even the
never.
church.
Yep, and it's funny because my whole family, I don't, I mean, and I've done it ever since we had that
Hmm.
conversation, and my whole family, no matter what we're doing, if we're going to a restaurant or whatever, they go, "Are you going to wear that everybody?"
Yeah.
I go,
Yes, I
"Yes, I
am.
am. I sure am."
Yeah. How
Yeah.
do we know somebody isn't eating that has a question about real
Yeah, and
estate? You know?
I had lunch with an agent recently who actually, her side profession was she was a bartender server
Oh,
at
wow.
one of the restaurants in the Villages, but a
Okay.
younger girl,
Uh-huh.
she'll know who she is, well, but I won't mention her name. But she taught me something, and that's the beauty of what we do. I mean,
Hmm.
I don't know about you, but every day is a different
Sure.
situation, a different circumstance. That's what I think. That's why you get so embedded in this business, because
Hmm.
it can be extremely stressful, but it's so
Hmm.
rewarding, but it's
Hmm.
never dull,
Never the
never
same.
dull.
Every day is
But
different. Every deal is different.
but we went to a restaurant, and we were sitting there, and because of her background and what she
Hmm.
does, I went to pay the bill, and when I put the little thing down with my credit card, she took out one of her cards and put it on the thing, that what do you call that thing, the tray for
Yeah.
the credit card,
Yeah.
whatever. And I kind of looked over, and she goes, you never don't put your business card when you put your credit card down, no
Mm-hmm.
matter where
Mm-hmm.
you are.
Yeah, that's a good
And I
idea.
said, you know what? I've
Yeah, that's a
never
very
thought
good
about
idea.
that in my
Yeah.
entire career. So guess what I do now?
There you
they
go.
they may
Order some
get
more cars.
they they may get my credit card, but they get my business
Yeah.
card too.
Very
So, but yeah,
good.
so
That's a
it's
good
I
idea.
think I shared that with Joe the
Yeah.
other day too. And
Yeah.
yeah, so I mean, it's just a matter of getting, obviously you're very to be relevant in the community. And like I said, I know people know who you are, and you probably have a huge um, uh, base of clients that you've worked with over the years, and family members,
Mm-hmm.
and that's kind of, we were talking a little bit before we started the conversation today about the age group of
Mm-hmm.
people that are really kind of moving in. And Gabby and I have talked about it as well, the transfer of wealth that's happening
Mm-hmm.
in our
Yes.
in that particular age group.
Mm-hmm.
So it's because I even said to you, where are you getting these people with all this money? Because they're
Mm-hmm.
still employed,
Mm-hmm. A lot of
so
money out there.
there's a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
So it's either the tech world or the medical
Mm-hmm.
profession, or just the transfer wealth from
Mm-hmm.
parents,
And real
which
estate. A lot of people made a lot of money in real estate
that's
the
true
last few
too.
years.
Yeah,
You look at the difference of what you could buy something for 20 years ago.
true.
I mean, now cars are more than houses I've paid for.
Yeah,
So, I mean,
right. I
there's a
mean,
big difference in the money that
yeah.
people have made on real estate. And there's ways to keep reinvesting in real estate by
Mm-hmm.
doing 1031s. And you just keep investing, investing, investing. And the next thing you know, you've got quite a portfolio.
Yeah.
And that's how a lot of people
Now,
make money.
do you utilize the 1031 a
Oh,
lot?
definitely.
Yeah.
Just
So
did it a
that's
month ago.
something that, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's something that probably a lot of people should know more
Mm-hmm.
about, because I've done a couple too,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just from an investment standpoint. I mean, it's
Mm-hmm.
such a great way to your point,
Oh, sure.
achieve wealth that way too.
Mm-hmm. By
So
reinvesting and not
yeah,
paying tax every
yeah,
single
time
time
you,
that you
yeah,
sell a property that's not your primary
right.
residence. And it's just a very good way to do it. But a
Yep.
lot of people, if they don't know about it, they don't do it.
Yep, and they don't.
So
Yeah, because it's a little bit abstract to how it's done, and
mm-hmm.
the people that you have to use in order, that
Mm-hmm.
kind of the experts in that side of it.
Mm-hmm.
But that should be something that we do a class on or
Sure.
something sometime,
Sure. I
because
have
that,
somebody that would come and
yeah,
do it with us, because it really is not complicated at
no,
all.
no,
It's just a different way of doing it. And some people think that you have to invest all of it. You don't even have to invest
mm-mm,
all of the money.
no,
If
it's
you're
just,
making a
yeah,
certain amount of money and you want to take out 20 grand and go on a cruise,
yeah,
that's fine. And
yeah.
just
You're gonna
reinvest the
pay, yeah,
rest. You pay
right,
tax on that,
yeah,
but
but
not
if
the other. But yeah, it's a great
that might, yeah,
opportunity.
I kind of think, especially to what you were saying, as well as can international folks utilize that too?
Mm-hmm.
They can. So see, that would
Different
be
some different laws
right,
pertain to on money that they make,
right.
on what they do.
How
There's a
they
few
get
different
taxed on it,
forms
yeah.
and different things, but
But
yeah.
I think that's a good opportunity for,
Mm-hmm.
especially this area, and with WEC coming into play too. I
Mm-hmm.
think you're going to see a lot
Yeah.
of people upsizing and doing things too
Mm-hmm.
there too.
Me too. Me too.
Well, my friend, it has been so much fun
Thank
talking to
you.
you. And
Yeah,
see, I
thank
told
you.
you it was going to be
I know.
easy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and,
it
and
really
and I love
was.
that you wear red, because if that's part of the color scheme with EB, of course, it's
Yes,
prime
it
lending
is.
too. So
Yes.
yeah, so we're a good match, even
Yeah,
though I didn't
awesome.
do it this time. But if I
It's
had
okay.
known, I would have done it. But I wish you so much luck
Thank
and
you.
success with
Thank
your new
you.
brokerage.
Thank
And
you. I appreciate the
I know you're going
opportunity.
to do awesome.
Thank you.
And anything that we can
Thank
do
you.
at Prime Lending to help you, we are here for you
For
too.
sure. Definitely.
All right.
Definitely.
Thanks
Thank
so
you.
much.